on the Belleville East Broadcast Network. Lancer basketball is now on the air.
Jenkins, he wants to run. Jump time! Christian Jenkins on the one-handed flush. Boyd puts up a prayer from half court. Bang! 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 Kyle Waller knocks down a half-court shot. Timeline, Dana Smith, three for the lead. Bang! Dana Smith gives the Lancers the lead. Timeout the floor. Timeout the floor.
Now it's time for the Lancer Hoops pregame show with Steven Stock.
Here comes Dawson, the hero from Tuesday night, gives it to Moody. He wants a three. Bang! There's the first bang of there. Xavier Moody knocks it down. This quarter, 2.5 minutes in, 3-0. K-Hawks, that one's stolen away. Here comes Moody. Bounce pass Brown on the way. Left. Yes, with the whistle. Whistle foul. Count the basket. It's good. Moody to Brown. It's 5-0 Belleville East. Johnson, the sophomore who, well, you know that name? That's very familiar with football season. Alexander with the steal. Moving right to left all the way. Layup good. It only took a few seconds for the Lancers to come out of the second quarter with points, and they get it right back off the turnover. There is a shot from Xavier Moody. A 4-0 run, and Collinsville needs a quick timeout, baby. 13-12. It only took 28 seconds. We'll take a quick one. Might have been Matt Clark, my good buddy. Collinsville, buddy, as there's a steal by Cahill Newsom. He'll give it to J. Cole. All the way, layup, yes. Jalen Coleman says, I want to join in on the fun. That's not Cahill Newsom like I thought. Lancers want to pull for number three. J. Cole, hello, hello. Jalen Coleman, it's got 5, and the Lancers have their largest lead, 23-16. By Coleman. Talbot right out block, missed it, rebound, loose on the floor. Talbot kept it in, threw it right to JD. Dawson wants to run, across the timeline. Moody wants another. Bang! Bang! It's a double-digit lead, and guess what? The K-Hawks need a timeout. 6, Coleman waiting with 5. J. Cole's got 3, gives it to Moody, at the buzzer for 3. Bang! Halftime buzzer beater. It's Xavier Moody with 14 points, and he gives the Lancers their largest lead at the half, 32-18. Man, he is so lethal from 3, and it's a steal. Ja'Cory on the way, layup, dances in. Ja'Cory Brown's got 5, and the Lancer lead at 16. Test, Dawson put on. Mitchell's wide open down the other end. Layup missed. Got us on offensive board. Put back, yes. Whistle foul. Count the basket. It's good for Savion Mitchell. His first points of the night, and they come in such a crucial moment. He's moving left to right. Brown across the timeline. He wants to run all the way. Ja'Cory layup. Oh. Whistle foul. Count the basket. It's good. Ja'Cory Brown. There's that full head of steam drive we've been looking for. That guy to miss. Lancers running. Jam time. That might be ball game from Savion Mitchell with the two-handed jam. 46. Moody now with 19. Collinsville will bring it back. This is Coates. 22 seconds up top. Gives it out to Reynolds, left corner. He's got to shoot a 3, catch and shoot. Missed it. Too short. It bounced. Dawson rebound. 15 seconds. That's going to do it. Coleman will be fouled. 13 seconds. And that will officially end the ball. On a 3-pointer missed by Reynolds. Coleman will have 2 free throws coming. The foul is on Jace Wilkinson. Is 6 2 years ago against Collinsville. Second one will go in and out for J. Cole. 10 seconds. They'll bring it back with Wilkinson. He'll launch a half-court shot. Missed it too strong. Rebound Belleville East. They will back off, and the Lancers will start 6-0. 1-0 in conference play, 55-46, a 9-point win for Coach Creek and the boys.
Start off the pregame tonight with some sights and sounds. The highlights from the Lancers win over Collinsville on Friday to open up Southwestern Conference play, get win number 6 of the season, 6-0 in the year, 1-0 in conference play. And tonight, it's Bree Central and non-conference play to kick off a busy week for the boys who continue to get big-time matchups to open up the season. With that, the Cougars of Bree Central and the Lancers of Belleville East tonight. Welcome into our Lancer Hoops pregame show. Steven Stock with you. It's a pleasure to be back here. Another opportunity to cover these boys. It was a lot of fun on Friday being back. I missed this Lancer basketball team for sure over the last few months, and it feels so good to be back, at least in this capacity, on covering these boys. It's a different feeling than last year for sure, but still a lot of fun on Friday and seeing how many more games I can do. But I'll be here the rest of the week, start off here with tonight, and then girls on Thursday. Excited to get my first look at the girls team. We're at Granite City tonight. We'll give you updates throughout the game if we can get them. And then on Friday, the boys back here at home in a big-time Southwestern Conference showdown with the Edwardsville Tigers. Not getting better than this in the month of December. As you heard, the win over the K-Hawks on Friday. The highlights to open things up. You'll also be hearing from head coach Jeff Creek here in just a little bit. Him and I caught up after the win on Friday. And with Bree Central, the Lancers played them twice last year. You'll also hear from him and former assistant coach of this Lancer basketball team, Keith Padgett, from last year, discuss what went wrong in the two losses for the Lancers at Bree Central and at Effingham in those two games. So that's coming up here later on in our pregame. But I want to start off talking about that Collinsville game on how huge it was for the Lancers. Belleville East got win number 6, I mentioned. Jeff, over to the Collinsville game, as I mentioned, and it was a good start for the Lancers. They opened up on a 6-0 run, and then Collinsville would tie things up at 6 and eventually ended off on a 7-2 run, so a 13-2 run total to end the first quarter, going up 13-8. The Lancers, though, the second quarter, you saw it, the press on those first two possessions by the K-Hawks. They could not hold it at all, handle it, and that might be what the Lancers are going to do most of the season, just like they did last year, is the pressure. If you can pressure up like they did against Collinsville and make them force bad passes, a team that is so well coached and so very good when it comes fundamentally, they don't turn the ball over much. Belleville East was able to force turnovers, especially in the second quarter. It hurt Collinsville, led to points, 24-5 second quarter run for Belleville East, but I feel like the pressure and full court press, half court press, whatever you want to do, might be what helps out this team and gets them, where they want to be at the end point of the season. But good second quarter, 24-5. We'd be deadlocked in the third at 9 apiece in the fourth quarter. Collinsville, I got to give them so much props because it felt like with about 3.5 minutes left, the Lancers called ball game. And to me, at least, it felt like ball game. But Collinsville just kept coming back, trying to come back, and they stayed in it all the way to a Savion Mitchell dunk you heard at the end. Like, I got to give them props. They stayed in. They really fought, trying to come back, and Donovan Coates on the other side is a heck of a player, man. That man would not miss from the free throw line, 10 for 11 at the line. He shot 9 for 17 from the field, 5 for 7 from 3, 33 points total. He was the offense for Collinsville on Friday night. I talked about it in the pregame last Friday. If you could get him out of the game plan, cut him off and try to get the other guys, make the other guys shoot the basketball, you feel like you have a good shot of running away with it. And, Belleville East was unable to stop Coates, and he had a great game, but the Lancers' offense, their scoring has been so good, was able to withstand Donovan Coates. So look at Belleville East, their leading scorer was Xavier Moody at 19 points. And I look at Moody, I look at Jalen Coleman, who also had 9. Both your guards shot the basketball really well. They're probably going to be your 2 starting guards for the rest of the season. And Jalen Coleman, I talked about him Friday against Collinsville. He did a really good job of filling in for Khalil Waller when he was out in the month of December last year. He came in, started point guard. I think he started 2 or 3 games possibly, and he got some big minutes after that as well, coming off the bench. He did a really good job filling in for Waller. He looks like a comfortable guard, and he was a sophomore last year, and I'm so excited. I was so excited coming in to see how he has developed and progressed going from sophomore to junior year, and you see that big game from him on Friday. He is so fun to watch because he can handle the basketball well, pass the ball well, shoot the ball well, but he plays defense too. He's a guy that's going to get steals for you. But he shot the ball 3 for 4. Xavier Moody, 5 for 9. How about the Lancers? 6 for 16 from 3, 38%. Very good 3-point percentage. But how about Jalen Coleman and Xavier Moody? They went 6 for 10. 6 for 10 from 3. They combined for all 6 3 balls for the Lancers in that one. Ja'Cory Brown also had 10 points. I love Ja'Cory. I really love what he was able to do last year because he was a guy that no one expected, really. I know that probably the players and the coaches, I remember talking with Coach Padgett last year. Did you expect Ja'Cory Brown? And everyone expected it besides maybe people who have been following Belleville East basketball. But he was incredible last year. He looks to be even better this year. his driving ability, the way he can finish down low. This guy is not built like a center or a big man. He's just a guy who's so physical and so strong. His drives are just incredible. The way he can get to the basket and drive and finish. He had 10 points. But the thing is also, I think he's going to be even better at his free throw shooting. He, up to this season right now, coming into this game, this season is up to a 77 free throw percentage from the line, 10 for 13. If that guy is getting fouled on these drives, watch for a lot of and ones. If not, go 2 for 2 at the line. I mean, that would be huge out of Ja'Cory Brown. 5 points for Savion Mitchell, all coming in late. Jalen Dawson was your leading scorer coming into the game. He was averaging about 15 points a game. He only had 5 points. And you're going to hear from Coach Crick later on talk about any given night, it could be anybody that can score. Anybody can lead the game in scoring. Jalen Dawson, though, a little bit of a cold game, 2 for 6 from the field, 5 points, but he made his impact through other ways. How about rebounding? Led the game in rebounding for the Lancers with 8 total rebounds. They actually out-rebounded Collinsville 29-19, and that was with Solomon Talbot and Stanley Carnahan, 2 very tall bigs down low, and the Lancers somehow out-rebounded Collinsville in that one. Jalen Dawson with 8-6 for Cameron Utsi, who is huge. I was looking to see him score maybe a little more. He only put up 2 shots. He had 1 point, but 6 rebounds for the junior. And also Ja'Cory Brown with 5. Jalen Coleman, 3 rebounds as well. The small dude getting rebounds now. How about J. Cole? But it was a very good game. And in these wins for Belleville, it's going to be a lot of team wins, and that's what you saw against Collins. All right, here is Jeff Creek to discuss Friday's win.
I thought we played well. I think we really got it going in the second quarter. Our defense was solid the whole game. I mean, I think the Coates kid just went off and made some shots. I thought our defense wasn't bad on him. He did a good job making shots to keep him close.
But you guys, I think, played good. You mentioned good defense, but played good defense. Other guys, he had 33, and the rest of the guys had 13 combined. I mean, it felt like if you took him out of the game plan, you guys were going to run away with it.
Yeah, of course. I mean, he's a good player. We knew about him last year at Edwardsville, too. So, I mean, he hit some shots, though, that we had hands up on that are just they're just tough shots. When they go in, they're tough, but we kept everybody. I think only one other person scored. I think 22 was the only one that had another that scored in the second half. So we'll take that all day.
And you guys, too, scoring-wise, you had Moody with 19, but it wasn't just him. You had Brown with 10, Mitchell with 5, Jalen Coleman with 9. You guys got a lot of options to score. It showed tonight.
Yeah, we could have a different leading scorer every game, which is good. It's dangerous. They can't really focus on one guy. And, yeah, I mean, Moody stepped up and played great, hit some free throws at the end, but I mean, we're a deadly team. I mean, if we play together like we did tonight, we're going to be tough to beat.
You guys start on a 6-0 run. Collinsville comes back, goes 13-2 to finish out the first, 13-8 to score going in the second quarter, but a 24-5 second quarter. As you mentioned, second quarter just exploded scoring the basketball.
Yeah, when we push tempo like we did and we can make some threes, we can really get it going. And but I knew it wasn't over there. I knew Collinsville was going to come back and make a run, and luckily we held them off at the end.
Also in that second quarter, right, I think it was the first few possessions, you guys started to press up, trap, play full court, and really helped out, force turnovers, and then led to points.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we have to do. And besides the steals, we just want to wear the other team down. So, I mean, if they got to bring the ball up against pressure all game, eventually they're going to get tired.
So you guys are 6-0, 6 games. You came into the season. When you look at 6 games in, do you kind of expect a 6-0 start? Are you happy with where you're at right now?
Yeah, of course I'm happy. I mean, I don't look past the first game. So I just look, I mean, it doesn't matter we're 6-0. I'm just looking to Bree Central on Tuesday and hopefully get a little get back from last year.
Yeah, that's going to be tough. I mean, 2 games last year, and I felt like you guys had them both times and just let it slip away at the end.
Yeah, especially the second time I thought we had them, but we'll be ready to go on Tuesday.
Well, Coach, I'll see you Tuesday. Congrats. Thanks for coming, Coach. Man. You're awesome as always.
Central, Belleville East, the Lancers 6-0. Bree Central is 4-2, and these two teams met last year. These are only 2 meetings since at least 1999 between these two schools. This is not a usual deal, but the Lancers met up with Bree Central in the championship match of the Effingham St. Anthony tournament during Thanksgiving week last year. And the Lancers had a lead at half. They led 21-18, but the lead would fall in the second half. The Cougars exploded for a 14-3 third quarter. Lancers were led by Christian Jenkins with 9, Talis Lauer. They both seniors who are not on this team this year. Lancers shot 13 from 40 from the field, 33%. 1 for 9 from 3 is not going to really help. 1 for 9 from 3. Cougars, on the other hand, were shot 45%, 19 for 42, and 3 for 7 from 3. They out-rebounded the Lancers as well, 31-18. Expected big game in the rebounding department and defensively tonight. Also, in the second meeting, just 10 days later, on the 5th of December, at Bree Central, the Lancers had another lead at halftime And the same thing happens again. The Lancers lead would not hold. Bree Central went on a 17-7 run in the fourth, pulled it away, especially late. Lancers had a lead with about 4 minutes left. It would not hold. The Lancers were led by Khalil Waller with 8 points. Shakori Brown had 7 with 5 rebounds. Lancers shot 15 for 36 from the field, 42%. 2 for 9 from 3. Another rough 3-point shooting game, 22%. Lancers are once again out-rebounded 24-15. Cougars, on the other hand, shot 44% for the field and 2 for 6 from 3 while getting the free throw line 25 times and making 17 of them going 17 for 25. Here is Jeff Creek and Keith Padgett to discuss those 2 losses last year.
You guys ended up playing Bree Central in that championship, had a 3-point lead at the half, and it diminished to a 14-point loss. What do you believe went wrong for you guys in that second half in that Bree Central game?
Just execution. I mean, and being in a big-time game with a bigger crowd, it kind of snowballed on us. We made a couple mistakes, which led to a couple more, and then we just couldn't really get back.
You guys got another crack at them this past week, only lost by 4 this time. What's some kind of adjustments or some things you kind of did well in that second game?
Defensively, we didn't have as many breakdowns, and we didn't turn the ball over as much. And there was a lot of positives. It wasn't good that we lost to them, but we led the whole game until about 4 minutes left in the game. And especially being at Bree Central, it showed our guys' character and that they are growing and getting better.
Stretch where we just couldn't put the ball in the basket. And then that stretch happened at Bree Central in the last 3 minutes. That was pretty tough for us to get to the basket in those last few minutes. But, we get there. We play a lot of guys, and so I think usually we're pretty fresh at the end. We got to find a way to get the ball in the basket in those dry spells.
Central in those 2 games was resilient, able to come back, and a very good team last year with 32-3, went 10-0 in the Cahokia Conference. They won the regional championship 42-21 over 4-seeded Pinckneyville, and then fell in the sectional championship 2 games later, losing to Benton 34-32 to end their season. But just looking at last year's team compared to this year, they lost a lot of their points. They lost about 73% of last year's points, lost 13-23 of 1793 score total, and it was led by Zane Scrange, Colton Arnold, and Mason Schubert, all gone for Bree Central. So who are they going to rely on tonight? You're looking at Caden Rakers, who's on last year's team. He's averaged about 15 points a game. Jason Campworth, 10.5, and Easton Becker, 9 points a game for the Cougars, while Belleville East is still their top 3 leading scorer. Shayla Dawson with 13.5, and Xavier Moody just a little under 12, and Ja'Cory Brown just a little under 10. Belleville East 6-0, Bree Central 4-2. Can the Lancers find a way to get their first win? Against Bree Central, I remember during the 10-game win streak, it may have been one time when we were coming back from Alton or Granite City on the road, and it was Coach Creek, Coach Padge, and I talking some basketball, of course. That's what we love to do, us 3. And I remember it was Coach Creek talking about, I would love to get another crack at Bree Central with the way these boys have been playing over the last few games. So here's your chance now. We'll see if the Lancers can get it done and try to get to 7-0 before Friday's game and a tilt with the Tigers of Edwardsville. Cougars, Lancers coming up. Thank you for tuning in our Lance Hoops pregame show. The tip is moments away.
Belleville East Broadcast Network, Lancer Basketball is now on the air.
Jenkins, he wants to run. Jam time! Christian Jenkins on the one-handed flush. Boyd puts up a prayer from half court. Bang! 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 Khalil Waller knocks down a half-court shot. Timeline, Dana Smith, 3 for the lead. Bang! Dana Smith gives the Lancers the lead. Timeout the floor. Timeout the floor.
Now it's time for Lancer Basketball. And for the call of the game, here's the play-by-play with Steven Stock.
On a Tuesday night, the Cougars come in a record of 4-2 to take on the Lancers 6-0. Another non-conference tilt for Belleville East, who went perfect in their first 5 non-conference games. It started off with a 4-0 start in the Alton Tip-Off Classic. Were able to defeat Highland, open up their season 64-61. The momentum would carry over to wins against Rintner, Waterloo, and Jennings to finish it out. And then Waterloo once again last week at home, 45-43. The goal is to get another win and keep the momentum rolling. The Cougars look to make that an impossibility for Belleville East and try to mark their 3rd win against the Lancers in the last 2 years. Bree Central coming in this season is looking for their 4th straight regional championship, and they did not, this is last time they did not win a regional championship was back in 2019, 16-18. 2020, obviously the COVID season does not count, but they went 15-0 in that shortened season. A very good program who's also looking for their 5th straight Cahokia Conference championship. They did not win the last time they did not win one was back in 2019. The 2020 year they went 6-4. Only the 3rd meeting between the two since at least 1999. It's the Cougars, the Lancers on a Tuesday here from Belleville East. Glad to have you along. I want to welcome in here from Belleville East, Steven Stacker, our partner. Owen Jacobs, Owen, how are you doing after that game on Friday?
I'm doing great, Steven. That game on Friday was electric.
It's a good win. Very good win to start off conference play. Exactly what the Lancers needed. We saw a lot of 3 balls, and we got a jam time at the end from Savion Mitchell with some and ones. I mean, you cannot ask for more.
Oh, yeah. Great defense, too, from the Lancers.
So Belleville East, Bree Central. As I mentioned, the Cougars 4-2. Let's go and talk about the start of their season. We have a few minutes before the start of the lineups are announced. As I mentioned, 4-2 record. They went back to Effingham, where Belleville East was in Alton compared to last year, with the 2 met in the championship match in Effingham. This time around, it was at Bree Central this time around at Effingham, and they did not get to the championship match. They actually got to the 3rd place game, where they were able to take down Effingham St. Anthony 46-43, the host school. They actually lost their opening game against a new school in that tournament, Champaign Central. They lost 57-50, would win their next 3, as I mentioned, Mattoon 63-51, Robinson 79-28, and then against the host school 46-43 at Effingham St. Anthony. They were able to get their 4th win of the season on Friday with a 58-47 win in conference play against the Wildcats of Salem High School. Then on Saturday participated in the Mount Vernon shootout, and they took on a school we know very, very well in the Crusaders of Althoff Catholic, led by De'Aaron Hill Jr., the Oregon football commit, and it was Althoff that would get the 20-point win, 71-51, and that's so huge because Althoff is in 2A. Bree Central was considered the #1 school at one time in 2A last year. And during the regular season, would lose in the sectional championship. Bree Central came in ranked top 25 in 2A, and, well, they just lost to Althoff, and they're missing a whole bunch of their guys from last year. So we'll see how it goes. Let's go listen to our starters tonight.
Starting guard, senior, #1, Hayden Breakers. Forward, senior, #3, Griffin Becker. Guard, senior, #4, Eason Becker. Forward, junior, #23, Jackson Campworth. Center, senior, #40, Carson Cordy. Head coach for the Cougars is Jeremy Schubert. And now, let's meet tonight's starting lineup for your Belleville East Lancers, who enter tonight's contest with an overall record of 6 wins and 0 losses. Senior guard, #0, Xavier Moody.
Starting laps review before I start with the visitors on the scoreboard of the Cougars of Bree Central. It's going to be a senior number 1, Caden Rakers, a senior number 3, Griffin Becker. They have 3 Beckers on the roster, by the way, so we'll see how that goes tonight. Another senior number 4, Easton Becker, a junior wearing number 23, Jackson Campworth, and then wrapping things out, a senior wearing number 40, Carson Cordy. Over for Belleville East, the same started 5 from Friday night. You know they say if it ain't broke, don't fix it. It'll start off with the senior wearing number 0, Xavier Moody. The senior wearing number 4, Jalen Dawson. The junior wearing number 10, Jalen Coleman. A junior wearing number 22, Cameron Utsi, will have the tip against Griffin Becker of Bree Central. And wrapping things out, it's the senior wearing number 23, Ja'Cory Brown. Bree Central, black jerseys, purple text dribbles with trimmed with white, Lancers in white uniforms with blue textures. We're off to a quick start. Ja'Cory Brown wastes no time as the Lancers control it right to left and are quickly on the board 2-0.
We mentioned that Friday that he's a very quick player, very aggressive, and we see it right out of the gate.
Took less than 10 seconds to get on the board, and now we're going to have a foul at midcourt as bringing the ball up for the Cougars was Easton Becker. I mean, I was still trying to get through my introductions and wasted no time. First foul will go against the home Lancers. It'll go against Jalen Coleman, his first. Lancers will go right to left on your TV screen. Bree Central will go left to right. This will be in the backcourt with Rakers, who had a few points in the 2 games last year, but the big points in those 2 games against Belleville came from seniors that are no longer on the roster for the Cougars. They go in the right block, blocking down. Brown just put the hands up, got some help from Utsi, and it worked out, got the defensive stop. Rebound Brown, he wants to run, gets it to Moody across the timeline. He goes left wing, will fan it out with 7:20 to play in the first quarter, 40 seconds in. Moody going to the left wing, will dribble. Look at his screen from Brown, didn't even use it. Moving to his left, puts up a shot. That one not going to fall too short. Cougars have the rebound. Easton Becker will control it left to right. Looking for their first buckle try on the second possession. Brown stole it away. He intercepted it. Ja'Cory wants to run all the way to the hole. Layup, yes!
And again, Ja'Cory Brown just being his aggressive self.
Oh my goodness, 4-0. Ja'Cory Brown 2 for 2 and gets a steal as well. Added on to a big start on the first 3 possessions for the Lancers. Cougars bring it back, 4-0 East. This is going to be in the hands of Easton Becker. He'll pass it up top for Campworth. Now on the left wing, pass inside on a layup off the glass. That one will miss on the weak side. That one will be ran out of bounds as Coleman just let it go, trying to track it down. And it will be Lancer basketball as it went off for the Cougars. 6:35 to go in the first, 4-0 East. Coleman will have it in the backcourt, bring it up right to left. Lancers will be back in conference play Friday. It's an off day in conference play for the Lancers. Some big matchups tonight. Collinsville at Belleville West at Collinsville. As there's a screen for Brown and Alton East St. Louis, and then O'Fallon and Edwardsville. This will be Coleman. He'll give it off to Moody. Moody on the left wing. He'll fan it out to the left key. Now up top to J. Cole at the center circle. 2 minutes in. Coleman gives it to Dawson. JD only had a few points Friday. He'll miss his opening shot. There's an offensive board for Dawson, who's triple teamed down low. And with 3 guys on him, they're going to blow the whistle for a foul. That will go against the Cougars. Their first foul comes 2 minutes, 4 seconds in. It'll go against the Cougars. Jackson Campworth, a junior. Lancers will have it on the left baseline. Coleman will be the trigger man. He'll wait. Throw it up top for Brown. He'll catch. Let's see if Ja'Cory takes on a drive. Got cut off. Kick out J. Cole in the right corner. Coleman will dribble, fan it out to the right key. Now get up top for JD. Lancers will reset again. Running some clock off on this possession. Just trying to find the open shot. Bounce past Moody. He'll pull for 3. Watch out. Missed it. Too strong. He made 4 of them Friday night. Pass going inside. Central bounce pass all the way. Bree Central on the board. And a good transition bucket for Caden Rakers. 4-2. Lancers will bring it back up by 2. J. Cole trying to bounce pass it out for Brown. He almost lost it. Went near the half-court line. Ja'Cory trying to kick it out for Dawson. Couldn't get there. Stolen away. Cougars want to run all the way to the hole. Blocked by JD. Offensive board. Blocked again. It's Utsi. Utsi said no. Lancers want to run. Moody all the way. Layup good. Moody makes it 6-2. The Lancers senior puts the Lancers back up by 4. Bree Central in the backcourt. This is going to be with Rakers, the senior. 6-2 game, and Bree Central had 2 shots blocked. Dawson said no the first time, and Utsi with the exclamation mark after him. Rakers on the left side of the logo will give it to on the left key to Campworth. He will dribble. He's stuck. Now puts it on the deck as JD just pushing up. The pressure loose on the floor, and they're going to say it's out of bounds. Lancer basketball. That is the pressure Jeff Creek was talking about on Friday night after the game. If you can put some pressure and able to, create a turnover, it's going to lead to buckets as Dawson is down right in front of the scores table, and hopefully he's all right. The great Aaron Kremel will come over and look at him. It's both Jeff Creek and assistant JV coach Abel Schroeder over looking at Dawson with now Aaron Kremel coming in. James Johnson's going to come in for JD, who's going to come out no matter whatever he feels, and hopefully he can get some rest here and be all right. Hoping the best for him with 4:42 to go in the first. He battled for that ball near the scores table and bumped up against it as Aaron Kremel will help him up. And he will walk off on his own weight. Good sight to see, and he's going to go straight to the bench. He said no, Kremel's going to assist. He comes with him. JD was ready to come back in a few minutes, sit on the bench, but Kremel will make sure he's okay. And Lancers will have the basketball after a great play by the senior, and it will be James Johnson, as I mentioned, coming in for him. He had 2 points, made one shot Friday against Collinsville. Lancers moving right to left with Moody. Across the timeline, gives it to J. Cole, 6'2", 4:35 to go in the first. Johnson back to Coleman. He pulls for three. J. Cole missed it a little bit too strong. Rebound Cougars. That is going to be Becker who had the rebound. Griffin Becker, I should probably be specific on that with three of them on the roster. This is going to be to Rakers, center circle. Bounce pass right elbow, hand it back off Rakers. He's going to go back up top, pull for three, catch and shoot. Bang, splash down. Griffin Becker will knock down our first three tonight. 6'5". It was Bree Central only made 3 threes in the second meeting at Bree Central. They didn't shoot many threes that game against the Lancers. Went 2 for 6, 2 threes made. Johnson will give it to Moody. Back to James. Halfway through in the first, under 4 to play. Moody's 6'5" game, Lancers by 1. Brown back to Johnson, driving James all the way. Won't get that one to fall. Bree Central has a chance to take their first lead at the bucket. Across the timeline with Campworth. He will dribble, give it up to, that's going to be stolen away. Gave it off to Griffin Becker, stolen away by Ja'Cory Brown. His second steal of the game. Here comes J. Cole. Free throw line, inside. Lost it. He's stuck. Using the pivot foot, just pull up for a shot. Missed it. Hit the back part of the rim. Bree Central on the rebound. 3:20 to go in the first. 6'5" Cougars. They'll walk this one across. J. Cole again applying the pressure. Jalen Dawson's return to the Belleville East bench. Wait to see when he would come in, and glad to see him just back out there. Troy Alexander will come in the next dead ball for Belleville East. Try to pull up for a shot. Good defense was Easton Becker. It was Coleman that had the hand up. Pass up top. Here comes a deep three. That one will miss. Rebound. Utsi tried to fight for it, and he had it tipped, and it's going to go to Johnson, as it was him and Cordy of Bree Central that fought for the rebound. Under 3 minutes to play. 2:50 to go in the first. 6'5" East. Low scored affair after the Lancers were able to convert on their first 2 possessions. Have went cold here the last few minutes. A little bit of a score drought. This is to J. Cole. He'll dribble. At the three-point line, give it to Brown all the way to the hole. Ja'Cory looking for 6, just misses. Utsi offensive board, no. Put back, Brown, got it. Oh my goodness, Ja'Cory Brown. Whistle foul, count the basket, it's good. He's got 6, and it's 8-5 East. Foul is going to be called against Jackson Kempworth, his second team foul. 3 substitutions for Coach Creek. James Johnson, Cameron Utsi, and Jalen Coleman out. Troy Alexander, Jalen Dawson, and Savian Mitchell all in. Here is Ja'Cory Brown at the line. He has 7 points to open things up in the first quarter. He has started off tonight with an and one, completed that one. And with 2:32 to go, Bree Central will make a quick substitution here after the free throw made, and they will have it left to right on the inbound. Preston Baker will inbound this one, a senior. Get it into Rakers. He'll give it off to Griffin Becker. He'll bring this one up, goes left to right on Mitchell. All the way to the hole. Savion used the vertical and able to make a play. Here is Dawson all the way to the hole. JD, yes! His first points. And didn't really need much rest on the bench. He came in ready to go. 11-5, 6-point game. 2 minutes to go in the first. Lancers pressure it up now. And there is Alexander, who almost got a steal. They're going to call a foul as Alexander almost got away with that one. That'll be his first. second team foul. Almost stole that one away. Be back here with the Cougars. They go left to right. We'll throw it into Rakers in the backcourt. 2 minutes to play on the dot. 11-5, East by 6. Rakers across the timeline, guarded by Moody. It's a steal for Xavier. He wants to run all the way. Layup, no, but a foul. It'll be 2 free throws coming for the Lancers senior, who shooted 68% for the line, 15 for 22, 6 games in. Caden Rakers will be called for his first. Moody to the line. The Lancers up by 6, hold on their largest lead, and Moody's first will dance in. He's got 3 now tonight. Lancers 3 total scores. Brown with 7, Moody with 3, Dawson with 2. 12-5, trying to make it 8 now. 3 possession lead. And another one coming for number 0. He will get that one a bank in, or hit it and hit the front of the rim and got in. Moody with 4, 13-5. Back in the backcourt with Griffin Becker. He gets it across, trying to drive on Mitchell. Lost it again, and they're going to call a whistle. That will go against the Lancers for a little bit of a hold. Will be called against Savion Mitchell, his first 13 foul. Have it on the right baseline, 105 seconds to play in the first. Be triggered in by Griffin Becker. He'll throw it up top for Rakers. Triggered in by Preston Baker. He's looking at 3 and 5. Give it up top for Baker. Thought about a 3. Now drive all the way. Layup good off the glass. Preston Baker's on the board. That's Bree Central's 3rd effort score. 13-7, back to a 2-possession game. This is going to be Moody. Bounce past Dawson. Open inside, missed it, airballed it, tipped on the rebound, and Bree Central has it. Dawson was going to get to it, but the man right to the right of him swatted it away on the tip. Cougars bring it back. 75 seconds to go in the first. With Becker, pass up top, thought about a 3 was Bryce Weeder. He will give it off on the right side of Baker. He's inside, kick out up top, catch and shoot 3 for the Cougars. Missed it, too strong. Rebound, loose, offensive board. Rakers inside, puts it up. Dawson with a good shot contest. Missed the shot. JD across the timeline, 5-on-4 for East, and it will go to a 5-on-5 as Rakers gets back. 55 seconds to play. Alexander catches it near the sideline. He'll fan it up top. Lancers held with about 60 seconds to go in the first quarter Friday and went for the last shot. Will they do the same thing here? Brown kicks out Dawson. They will not. JD for 3. Bang! Jalen Dawson knocks down the first Lancer 3 tonight. He's got 5. 16-7. All of a sudden, the Lancer lead is up to 9. 30 seconds to play in the first quarter. Lancers had a halftime lead in the first 2 meetings against the Cougars last year. Both of them would not hold. This is on the right key. Dribbling his Weeder, he'll bring it up top. Guarded by Brown, went to his left, out to his right. Now he gives it off to Rakers. 15 seconds, guarded by Moody. Gives it up top for Preston Baker. 10 seconds, is holding at the center circle. Now dribble to his right. Alexander almost got the ball free. Helping out to Moody, and they get the steal to Alexander with 5. Gives it to Moody with 3. Moody all the way to the hole. Layup, yes, and that's how the first quarter will end. The Lancer defense forces a turnover. Alexander started it, and Moody finished it. 18-7. 8 minutes in, first quarter through. The Lancers have a double-digit lead. Back in a moment from Belleville East. The Lancers, the Cougars, here at the Belleville East Broadcast Network. Lancers hold on to an 18-7 lead, 8 minutes in as we get to the second quarter. Here's Stuart Stocker, my partner, Owen Jacobs here on a Tuesday night. We started off the second quarter here with the Lancers up by 11. I guess I'll take the time here right now as we start the second to announce my halftime guest for tonight's game. As we had head football coach Michael Harrison on last Friday in the game against Collinsville. You can go back to last Friday's stream if you want to catch that. We recap the Lancer football season, a little look to next year, a little early look, I guess you could say. It's only December. But tonight's guest will be the former
Belleville East Assistant Athletic Director, longtime Belleville East baseball coach, longtime Belleville East football assistant coach Todd Blomberg, who will be joining me at the half. Going to be a pleasure to sit down with him. It's been a while. He's retired, and we'll see what he's been up to over the last few months. I know he's been at some Lancer sporting events here over the last few months. He was at some football games, and here he is tonight. I was going to grab our new AD, Joe Nesbitt, get a chance to talk with him about what the transition's been like for him. But I saw Coach Blomberg here, and I was like, well, I'll get you up here instead. So 18-7, Bree Central having to start the second quarter. They move left to right out there to start for the Lancers in the second quarter. It's Xavier Moody, Jalen Coleman, Jalen Dawson, Ja'Cory Brown, and Savion Mitchell. Pass inside for Rakers. Mitchell just put the hand up and did not get the shot off with Rakers. They had to pass it out in the left corner. Moving to the left wing. Now pass back out. Weeder will throw it up top for Rakers. He'll catch, guarded by Mitchell. Drive it inside. Kick out right key. Back it down to Baker. Pass went off of Mitchell's hand. He tracks it down before it goes out. It's another turnover. Here is Savion across the timeline. Dawson gives it to Coleman in the left corner. He'll slow things down, and the Lancers will reset. Brown throws in the quarter for Mitchell. Had 5 points and one in a dunk that came in the last 2 minutes against Collinsville Friday night. Huge 5 points from the Lancer senior. Moody gives it for JD. He's open. He wants another three. Bang for Jalen Dawson. JD with 8, 21-7. The Lancers have tripled Bree Central's points. Cougars will bring it back, a 14-point lead. I think the Lancers, what was their lead at the half last time? It was an 8-point lead in the last meeting last year. Layup inside. That one will fall for Easton Becker. His first points, only Bree Central's fourth different score. 21-9, 12-point game. Lancers bring it back. JD, head fake. Now drive inside. He traveled. Well, tough mistake there made by JD, and a little head fake, took a step before he dribbled. That's his travel, and it'll go back to Bree Central. Cameron Utsi is going to come back in, and it will also be Christian Cahill Newsom will make his first appearance tonight. Savion Mitchell and Ja'Cory Brown is out. I think that's Ja'Cory's first rest of the night, besides the timeout between the first and the second quarter. And man, he deserves it the way he played in the first quarter. 7 of the Lancer 18 points. And then 1 in that stretch as well. This is going to be Easton Becker in the backcourt. Gets it across the timeline. They're going to call J. Cole for a foul. That's going to be his second. And early foul trouble for Coleman. He's going to come out. Troy Alexander will come back in. And Troy Alexander is a guy that you kind of need him to step up in a spot now because you don't have Khalil Waller from last year. You don't have Christian Jenkins. J. Cole's going to be your starting guy now this year, and you need someone to back him up, especially if Coleman in a spot like this is now in foul trouble, and Troy Alexander are kind of counting on him to do that. This will go to the top of the key with Weeder. He'll hand it off. Baker, pull-up shot, left elbow, missed. Rebound, it's going to be Alexander. 21-9, 6:20 to go in the second. Pass underneath for Utsi, and he ran out of bounds. It was a little bit too strong, led him too far up the court on the baseline. Lancers turn it over. Cougars will get it back. 21-9, 6:18 to play. In the first half. In the backcourt for the Cougars, walking across is Preston Baker. He's going to dribble. Dawson, and they got another steal. This is going to be Alexander. Across the timeline. Gives it off to JD. Now to Moody. Driving, and he had it stolen away from behind. A good play by Rakers, who came from behind and knocked it free on the dribble. And that one goes off the foot, and it's going to go out of bounds. It went off of Becker's foot and went straight out of bounds. Lancers will get it back. 5:53 to go. Back 3 straight turnovers from the 2. Right to left goes East here in the second quarter. It's going to be Alexander in the backcourt. Get it across the timeline. He'll give it to Moody. Back to Troy. He'll give it off to Dawson. JD gives it to Christian. Stuck. Give it back to JD. Driving. Left side of the lane. 2 guys on him trying to throw it up and did not get it in the basket. Cougars on the other side. Go in the right corner. Kick out Baker. He wants a 3, catch and shoot. That one will brick. Offensive board. Put back. Blocked by Utsi. He said no, no, no. Cahill Newsom will give it to Dawson. 5:20 to go in the half. It's going to be Moody. He goes to the right wing. Moody gives it up for Dawson. Dawson going to hold. JD just going to wait. He'll give it back to Moody. Moody driving right side the lane. Got cut off right elbow. Gives it to Alexander. He got cut off free throw line on a drive. Back to Dawson. 5 minutes to go here in the first half. 21-9. Lancers by 12. Holding on to their largest lead. 14 was their largest lead. Alexander, 450. Up top for Cahill Newsom. Back to Moody on the left wing. Fan it out top. Lancers will reset again. Utsi back to Alexander. Clock continue to run. This is what East will do. They're just looking for that shot. Alexander, give it to Cahill Newsom at the free throw line. Now JD, his third three of the night. Missed that one. Couldn't get that one to dance in. Bree Central will bring it back. Cougars with Rakers moving inside all the way to the hole. Layup, yes, through the contest by Utsi. Rackers with 4, 21-11, a 10-point game. Lancers bring it back with Moody. He'll go Southwestern Conference logo. Slow it down now, speed it up. Give it to Dawson. Bounce past Cahill Newsom. Kicks out in the corner. Moody. Head fake. Driving. Got it. Stolen away, and the Lancers have done too many turnovers, it feels like, in the second quarter. Got it. Some of the dribbles feels like that's at least their third or fourth in the last 4 minutes. Ja'Cory Brown will come in the next dead ball. Moody knocked it away. Out of bounds off of Bree Central. The Lancers will get it back. James Johnson will also come in with Ja'Cory. It will be Utsi and Cahill Newsom out. Johnson will trigger this one in down the sideline and give it in Alexander. See Troy here run the point on this possession. He'll give it off to Moody. JD up top. Back to Moody. Went around the horn with Johnson. Back to Moody again. Now they give it to Alexander. Between the circles. Gives it to Dawson again. Now to Brown right elbow. He'll pull for a shot. Got it. Ja'Cory Brown says, I can do more than just drive. I'll put up a shot. He's got 9. Lancers back by 12, 23-11, 3:15 to go in the first half. And we're playing here in the second quarter. Rakers will give it to Becker. He'll hand it up top for Easton. Becker driving all the way to the hole. Layup, no, but a foul that was called on the drive. And that will go against Belleville East. That's going to be their second foul of the quarter. It's going to go against Xavier Moody. That's going to be his first. Bree Central triggering on the right baseline with Colin Horn. Bounce pass into Rakers all the way to the hole. Layup too strong off the glass. Brown on the rebound. He's double team. Almost lost it. Alexander trying to track it down. He couldn't. Now it's loose on the floor with Johnson getting it. And Bree Central called a timeout with 2:58 to go to secure the possession. They'll have it left to right out of a Cougar timeout. 23-11 the score in the second quarter. Lancers holding on to a 12-point advantage. We'll be back in a moment. This is Lancer basketball on a Tuesday night here from the Belleville East Broadcast Network. Lancers hold it on to a 12-point advantage, 23-11. You got 2:58 to go here in the second. Bree Central called their first timeout. Coach Schriexel has all 5 for the Lancers at Belleville East. Here we go, a little bit of a zone. Alexander will go man-to-man on Preston Baker. He brings it across the timeline. Troy just smothering him at the top of the key. Still on him, forces the pass out to Campworth. Back to Baker. Bounce pass inside, through it right to Ja'Cory. 2-on-1. Ja'Cory to Troy all the way. Layup, no. Put back, no on the tip by Brown. And the Cougars will bring it back. 2:30 to go. This is going to be Preston Baker again. Cross the timeline. Kick out left wing 3. Catch and shoot. That one will miss too short. Johnson went over the back though. Bree Central will extend the possession on the foul. This will be the third team foul in East in the quarter. It will be Preston Baker, the junior, who will trigger this one in on the right baseline. Throws it from the Essen Lancers. Throws up top at the shield for Campworth. He'll try to hand it off for Rakers. He does. He kicks out left corner. Bounce pass inside. Good drive and a cut that will work out for the bucket for Griffin Becker. He's got 5, leading the Cougars in scoring. 23-13. The Lancers go quickly now. Dawson will slow it down in the left corner. 2 minutes to go with Alexander, who will bring it back up top. He'll give it off to Dawson. Now bounce pass to Brown. Brown, double team, will give it to Alexander. Troy, pull up shot mid-range. Got it, Troy Alexander. His first points of the night. 25-13, just pulled it up and got it. And he's playing some huge minutes right now with Jalen Coleman in foul trouble. On the bench, layup, that one will miss, too short. Rebound stolen out of James Johnson's hands. Cougars have it. Easton Becker will pull for a shot. That one will fall. That should be inside. Oh, they're going to call that a 3. Griffin Becker, he's got 8. 25-16. It looked like it was inside the 2, but they called it a 3. Anyway, back here with the Lancers. 9-point game at single digits. 75 seconds to go. Brown will give it off to Moody. Again, we'll have some halftime entertainment coming up here in just about 2 minutes or so. Former Belleville East Assistant Athletic Director Tom Blogger will join me at the half. That shot from Brown. Couldn't get that one to bounce in. Cougars on the rebound. 60 seconds to go. They'll move this left to right. 25-16, 9-point game in the backcourt here with Preston Baker. He'll fake the pass and kept the dribble alive somehow. Pass going inside off a cut. Becker layup. He's got the last 7. Griffin Becker with 10. He's got Bree Central within 7. 25-18. 40 seconds to go. Moody crossed the timeline, slowed things down, and like I said last Friday, you have nothing to lose in a spot like this where you go for the last shot. You have nothing to lose. There's nothing to lose, and that's what Belleville East is going to do here. You'll at least take a 7-point lead in the half. Moody will just dribble it, 20 seconds. Cougars will let them run the clock out. Moody, we'll see where they start to go. He picked up the dribble. He's stuck. Moody will give it to Johnson, 13 seconds. Brown gives it to Alexander with 10. It was a buzzer beater to end the first half on Friday by Moody. Alexander with 5. He starts to go. Alexander gives it to JD for the 3. He got fouled. JD got fouled with 1.7. Missed the shot, but 3 free throws coming for the Lancer senior. Wow. Jackson Campworth will be called for his 3rd already. So he's in foul trouble, one of the Cougar starters. So here is Dawson with 1.7 seconds to the line. He is shooting 57%, 12 for 21. He'll make the first. He's got 9, leading tie for the lead with Ja'Cory Brown and scoring in the game for the Lancers. Can overtake him here. JD's second goes in and out. We'll have one more coming. 1.7, Bree Central. We'll see if they do off a miss here. I'm interested to see if they'll throw something up. Second one, JD got it, 27-18, 9-point game. Cougars, 1.7 seconds left to go the length of the floor. We'll throw it in at half court. Here it comes, half court heave. It is too short, and the Lancers will take a 27-18 lead in the half. We'll be back in about 60 seconds. Coach Tom Blomberg will be joining me next year on our halftime show. Back in a moment here for Belleville East. This is Lancer Basketball here on the Belleville East Broadcast Network. (27-18). Lancers hold on to a 9-point advantage. Here, our second halftime guest of this boys basketball season. I had Coach Michael Harrison of the football team on last Friday, and now have a former coach, former assistant athletic director, and Coach Todd Blomberg. Coach, how you doing here?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me. It's good to see you,
Thanks
Steven.
for coming up, Coach.
I appreciate it.
What's retirement been like for you the last few months here?
I had a blast during the football season because I got to come up every Friday and work and see the team and be a part of that. Since football's been over, I've been struggling a little bit trying to stay busy. I like being here tonight, just being able to watch, but I really would enjoy working.
Yeah. For you, do you have any big plans coming in the summer at retirement? Anything you do to celebrate?
Yeah, my wife and I bought as a retirement gift, a little travel trailer, 20-foot travel trailer that my truck pulls, and we go around and we want to visit national parks.
Okay.
So,
any big ones you visited?
We went to Acadia National Park up in Maine.
Okay.
And then this summer we're looking at maybe going to some in Colorado.
How long was that trip up to Maine? How long were you up there for?
The first the drive up was 3 days.
3 days?
It took that long to drive up, and then we were there for 5 days, and we coming back, we were like, forget it, let's just get home. We got it back in 2. So
there you go. There you go. So national parks. So I mean, what's the interest in that for you?
So I just really it's. Everyone says when they travel they want to see Europe. I haven't seen much of the United States, and there's so much of the country so beautiful. Like, and the national parks kind of encompass all that. You have the nature and getting away from everything, and just being able to relax and just feel like just at ease.
Yeah. So national parks, how many have you been to? What's some big ones?
So the biggest one we've been to so far was Acadia.
Okay.
We've been to Indiana Dunes up in Indiana. We did Mammoth Cave down in Kentucky. We're hoping to get the big ones, like Glacier and Yellowstone, and cross those off our list. Utah has some beautiful ones we want to get to at some point, but it's just going to take some time.
Take some time. So for you, I know, as you mentioned, you keep coming back up for football, now back up here tonight. How big, and I talked about this, over in, I think it was April or March when I sat down and interviewed you. How big has been Beverly for you in your whole life?
So I graduated from here, so it's safe to say that Belleville East has been a pretty big part in who I am as a person. I had very, very good coaches when I was here. My teachers are phenomenal. All the life lessons you kind of learn from them, you take with you. And I was very fortunate to be back here as a coach. And the friendships that I have now from my teaching and coaching here are lifelong ones. So to say that Belleville East has been a huge part of my life is an understatement, to be honest.
For you ended up retiring in May. You went out with Mr. Mark Larson, the head AD, and I talked about it, when you were getting ready to retire. You two, how fun was it for you two to do the job for how many years you did?
So I think the biggest compliment I can give Mark is I never woke up thinking I was coming into work. I woke up just so excited about what we were going to do that day. The environment he created in our office and through athletics was just phenomenal. And I miss that. Every day I still miss that. So it was something that was a huge joy for me. Not one day did I ever say, man, what a terrible day this is. There might have been bad moments, but overall our days were phenomenal.
For you now, you see your two new ADs, Joan Nesbitt and Amanda Kemagis. What do you see from them too? I know they are doing an exciting job and a great job.
Oh, they are two phenomenal people that truly care not only about Belleville sports, but about the individuals in those sports, the coaches, the players. And they are two people that we couldn't have handpicked better people to take over the program. They are people persons. They put people first. They are hardworking. They care very deeply about Belleville East athletics, and Belleville East athletics is in great hands.
So during football season, I'm going to ask this real quick because I think I noticed you doing chain gang one time, right?
I did.
Was it the game against West? I think
it was.
What was it like being down there? Because I think I know. You have to correct me if I'm wrong. I know your wife's done that a few times.
She's done that for almost 20 years.
Yes, I was going to say, it's been a long time.
Yeah, she's done that for a long, long time. So she was my boss that night and told me what to do. And it was a whole different perspective, I'll tell you that. It was very interesting being on another team's sideline and not really being able to say anything or trying to stay as impartial as possible. And of all teams, against West.
Yes.
Against West of all teams. So it was a fun night. I had a great time, but it was very difficult for me.
There you go. And talk about, too, just, the relationships you had as well. What's it like for you to come back and be greeted with, the people that you talked to all these years and they're still, hey, we'd love to have you back?
Yeah, I'm thankful they still like to have me around. I wish I could come around a little more, but I don't want to wear out my welcome.
Yeah.
But it is, and that's one of the biggest things my wife asked today. Hey, you're going to come to the game tonight? And I was like, yeah, I'm going to. And the biggest thing I was looking for through all day was to see Coach Creek and see Coach Harrison and Coach Jones and, see all the other people that I know, Coach Funk down at the table that I've seen for, years and years, day after day after day, that I haven't gotten to see in a while. And that's always, it lifts my soul. It makes me happy.
So I'm going to ask you this. I know you've been doing this for a long time. Is there any moment or game that sticks out to you of Lancer basketball that you've sat and watched on the sideline over the years that sticks out?
Yeah, we played was it a 6 overtime game? That was absolutely phenomenal. It was an unbelievable game. We ended up winning it. Heck, it might even been 8 overtimes. I can't remember.
I remember when
sure.
Coach Pat, I think it was something around there. I know Pageant told me it was
Yes.
against West.
Yes, it was against Belleville West, which made it so much more memorable. But that game was just unbelievable shot after unbelievable shot, and you think one team had it and the other team would make a run, and even in the short overtimes, like a team would go up 5 or 6, you'd be like, well, this is over. Yeah. And then it was tied again. It was an incredible game.
All right, Coach, it's good to come back. I saw you, as soon as I came over, I was like, I saw you, I was like, I got to get you up here. It's something I do. I was like, it'd be good to visit with you one more time and see how you've been doing.
I appreciate that. And let me say, I'm going to take it upon myself to speak for all Lancer Nation to say we are happy to have you back this year, even though you graduated.
Yes.
Anytime you can be here, we are so thrilled that you're here.
Well, Coach, thank you.
Thank you, Stephen.
We'll be back here. Thank you. Former assistant athletic director, longtime baseball coach, longtime assistant football coach Tom Blomberg, and he is our halftime guest. A pleasure sitting down talking with him, and just good to see how he's been doing over the last few months. I know someone that Belleville East misses dearly, and you heard it from him. He misses this place dearly, and it's all worked out. Good to see him up here. I wasn't expecting him to be here tonight. It wasn't in the plans to get him up here, but as soon as I saw, I was like, I got to get this to work out, and it worked out. Coach Blomberg always did great, and I recommend you go back to back in April, I want to say it was, when I sat down with him in an episode of Lancer Conversation, about a 30-minute sit-down interview where we go in depth to his career as a player at Belleville East and then as a coach and assistant AD here at Belleville East. It is worth every minute, especially if you're a longtime Lancer fan. It is worth every minute. You hear some great stories in there. There's some good ones in there. You'll hear how Ryan Wiggs, the current head baseball coach, was hired. You can hear that story. There's some stories about the great Larry Patton, former Belleville East baseball coach. Some stories in there, and I recommend you go in and tune in. So we're about 60 seconds away from the start of the second half, and these have been running a little bit too long. Coach Harrison had to be up to the end, and same thing with Coach Blogberg tonight. So here's some quick numbers for you. 2 scores with 10 points tonight. One score tonight for Belleville East with 10. That's Jalen Dawson. Ja'Cory Brown has 9 with 6 points is Xavier Moody. Then with 2 is Troy Alexander. The Lancers lead 27-18 at the half. Over for Bree Central, they have 4 different scores. Leading with 10 is Griffin Becker. With 5 points is Easton Becker. With 4 points, Caden Rakers. And with 2 is Preston Baker. Scored by the quarter, 18-7. First quarter plus 11 for Belleville East. And in the second quarter, Bree Central had the advantage, 11-9, a -2 second for the Lancers of Belleville East. In the first 2 meetings last year, the Lancers had a lead at halftime. The first time, it was 21-18. They would lose by 14. The second time, 23-15. It is similar margins tonight. Both times are losses. How does the second half go here? Lancers will have it left to right to start the second half on your TV screen. It's going to be Xavier Moody. Jalen Coleman throw it for Jalen Dawson. Alley-oop, no good. Cameron Utsi and Ja'Cory Brown. Lancers are in white uniforms with blue text numerals. Lancers in the front. Bree Central in black jerseys with purple text numerals. Central in the front with white trim. They give it up top for Campworth. He is out there with Caden Rakers, Griffin Becker, Easton Becker, and Carson Cordy. 30 seconds in. Cougars right to left on their TV screen. Pass out, dribbling. This is the guy who had the last 7 for the Cougars. He's got the last 9. Griffin Becker with 12, and he's got Bree Central within 7. 27-20. They got it down to 7 before Dawson was fouled on a 3-pointer to end the first half. He would go 2 for 3 at the line. Moody on the right key. Bounce pass for Brown. Ja'Cory on the right elbow. Gives it to Coleman. J. Cole gives it to Utsi. Driving inside. Cam looking for his first points. Missed it. Put back on his own offensive board. Couldn't get it. And the rebound is by the Cougars. That pass by Brown tipped away and tried to keep it in. And it will go back to Bree Central. Cougars will have it right to left as Brown was just able to tip the pass but couldn't get there in time to keep it in bounds. 6:52 to play in the third. 27-20. Bree Central trying to get it to a two-possession game. They haven't had it to two possessions since the end of the first quarter. Cougars up top will hand it off to Easton Becker. He dribbles between the center circles, goes left double, bounce pass inside, wide open on a cut as Ja'Cory Brown fell down. Griffin Becker with 14. He's got the last 11 for the Cougars. 27-22 in a 5-point game. This is going to be Brown. He'll throw it to Coleman in the corner. He had to jump up high for that one. The short J. Cole had to jump up for that. Give it back to J. Cole. He drives inside, nowhere to go, got cut off. Back out to Moody, 6:15 to play. Moody up top, moving. Jump shot from the left elbow. Missed it, too strong. Rebounded Bree Central. Not the start you wanted. The Lancers are cold here. Looking for their first points, 2 points in, or 2 minutes in. The Cougars, a 4-0 run. Becker, give it up top for Easton Becker. Now to Baker, guarded by Utsi. Trying to go inside. Kick out up top. Becker wants a 3, catch and shoot. Bang, he's feeling it. 2-point game. Easton Becker knocks down a shot. Griffin Becker knocks down a shot. Coach Creek needs a timeout. 27-25. Bree Central, a 7-0 run. Becker with the last 14 for the Cougars. Back in a moment, we'll take a timeout. This is Lancer Basketball on the Belleville Broadcast Network. Bree Central feeling it. It's Griffin Becker with 17. He's got the last 14 points for the Cougars. That goes back to the end of the first half. It was a 9-point game. It is 2, a 7-0 run by Bree Central to start the second half. 5:45 to go into the third. Coach Creek called his first timeout. Both teams with 4 timeouts remaining. Lancers will have it left to right. Out of the timeout, it'll be Coleman. He'll throw it in for Dawson. This is the exact same thing that happened in the last 2 minutes. The Lancers had halftime leads evaporate. Moody up top will get a screen from Dawson. We need a bucket here. Go to the senior Moody inside for Brown. Fumbled it out of bounds. It was last touched by a Cougar player, and the Lancers will retain possession on the left baseline. J. Cole will have it on the L in the Lancers on the baseline. J. Cole trigger it in. Throws it in for Brown underneath the basket, layup missed. Cougars have the rebound. They can tie it with the 2, take the lead with the 3. Alexander got a hand on it. It will go out of bounds as Troy came in for Utsi. They'll stay with the Cougars. 5:27 to go in the third quarter. And this will be coming from the left quarter here. This will be Easton Becker will trigger it in. He waits. Throw it up top. That one almost stolen away by Alexander. Near the half-court line, stayed in was Preston Baker. Baker up top, give it off. Drive it inside is Griffin Becker, and he got held by Ja'Cory. That'll be his first foul. First team foul. 5:20 to go in the third.
It's another late first foul for Ja'Cory Brown.
It was like the last 60 seconds of the third Friday, I think it was.
Yeah.
Coming almost halfway through the third. Here's a jump shot for Rakers. He got it. Tie game. Bree Central, it's on a 9-0 run. 27-27. Lancers still looking for their first points here in the second half. It feels like a switch just got flipped. Moody for 3. Bang! Huge 3 for Xavier Moody. He's got 9. Man, did the Lancers need that. Breaking a 9-0 run by the Cougars. Bree Central bring it back. This is with Rakers. He's guarded by Moody. They've only made 1 3 of the night. 2 threes of the night. Both of them made by Griffin Becker. He'll hand it off to Baker. Baker drive it inside. Fumbled it. Got it back with Becker, and Moody fouled him. A little bit of a push. That'll be Moody's second. 4 3-pointers made by the Cougars. 3 by Griffin Becker, 1 by Easton Becker. 4:42, 30-27. They only made 2 threes in the second meeting with Belleville East last year. The first meeting was 3 3-pointers. Shot 3 for 7. Layup inside, no good, but a foul. Rakers will head the line for 2. 4:38 to go in the third. The foul is on Belleville East. It's Moody. That's his third. And it's the third team foul. Moody's going to probably have to get subbed out here. He's now in foul trouble. J. Cole has 2 right now. He's in a little bit of foul trouble. Not the situation he wanted to be in. Troy Alexander's already out there. First total miss by Rakers. It will be Moody. It's going to come out. Savion Mitchell played big minutes down the stretch. Friday night will come in for him. Rakers will get another. He is a 71% free throw shooter, 5 for 7. Out making 5 for 8 after the miss. Second one, got it. 2-point game, 30-28. Rakers now with 7 on the night for the Cougars. He's second in scoring for Bree Central. Dawson will give it to J. Cole. He's double teamed. Coleman got to get it out. He's stuck. Coach Creek, did he get the timeout in? He did. 4:27 to go. That's Creek's second. 3 remaining for Belleville East. We'll take a timeout as well. Back in a moment. This is Lancer Basketball on the Belleville East Broadcast Network. .427, about halfway through in the third quarter. 30-28, Lancers by 2. It's just recently tied at 27 before Xavier Moody untied it with a 3. He's out of the game currently, sitting on the bench with 3 fouls. This will be J. Cole who will run the offense. He'll give it to Alexander. Lancers out there with Alexander, Coleman, Dawson, Brown, and Mitchell. Troy, dribble, fan it back out, gives it to Brown. Free throw line, and he tried to get it out to Coleman and couldn't get there, stolen away. Cougars bring it back. Baker lost it. Belleville East with it back, and Bree Central has turned the ball over numerous times. Brown's layup is airballed, and it's tipped out of bounds off the rebound. Belleville East will keep it. On the baseline with 4:02. Coleman will be the trigger man. Probably about 10 turnovers now, I'd say, for Bree Central. Lancers have turned it over a few times in a row, and JD wants a 3. Bang for Jalen Dawson. He's got 13. 33-28, Lancers back by 2 possessions at 5, and Mitchell stole it away, tried to keep it in. They're going to say he stepped out. Bree Central will get it back, 3:51. Going to the backcourt for Becker. Easton Becker will give it off to Preston Baker. It is Griffin Becker is still out there. They're wearing number 3. He's got 17 on the night. Give it off to Baker on the left wing. It's confusing with 2 Beckers out there. They got one more on the roster you got to keep track of. Kick out to Rakers. He holds. Now dribbles. Picked up his dribble. Bounce pass. Give it inside for Easton Becker. Now kick out. 3-pointer Rakers. Bang. Got it. What a shot. Caden Rakers with 10. He enters double figures. Second double-digit score for the Cougars. It's back to 1 possession at 2. 33-31. 3:15 to go in the third. Coleman will throw it out for Alexander. Bounce pass Brown to the right elbow. Ja'Cory gives it Alexander. He wants a 3. Missed it, too short. Bree Central has a chance to tie it with a 2 or take their first lead of the night with a 3. Across the timeline. This is with Easton Becker. Becker will dribble, guarded by Coleman. Picked up his dribble. Bounce pass, stolen away. Coleman's triple team, and that will be called for a foul as Coleman had possession. Foul against Bree Central. That's their first. It took 5 minutes and 5 seconds for that to be called. Griffin Becker called for his first. First team foul, as I mentioned. Brown will throw it for Alexander in the backcourt. Lancers move left to right. Alexander gives it off to Coleman. Coleman, bounce pass for Dawson. JD up to Alexander, now to Coleman, around the horn. Back to Dawson, left corner. Double team, drive on the baseline, tiptoed and threw it away. Lancers gotta stop throwing it away here. Good number of turnovers here in the last about 10 minutes of game time. Bree Central bring it back. Bounce pass. Free throw line. Give it back up top. This is for Campworth. Now to Rakers. Bounce pass back to Campworth on a drive. He's fouled. 2 free throws coming. They'll have a chance to tie it for the free throw line with 2:21 to play. in the third. That's the Lancers' fourth. It's going to be Jacory. He's going to be called for his second. Jackson Campworth will go to the line. 70% free throw shooter, 14 for 20 on the air. His first, missed. There we go. James Johnson will come in for Jacory Brown. He needs a little rest from the way he's had to play here. So he's been all over the place. Gotta make sure he's ready to go for the final stretch. Second one, got it, 1 point game. Campworth, his first points of the night. He's played with 3 fouls, by the way, for the Cougars. Alexander left to right, and we had the buzzer go off, and it went off again for the second time. The clock is still running. Lancers, everyone's still playing on. I don't know what we just had happen there, but we're still good to go. Coleman, give it up top for Alexander. Troy will give it off to JD. He gives it to Mitchell. Left elbow jump, catch and shoot, missed it. Rebounds tipped, and it's going to be the Cougars that have it. They could take their first lead with a bucket here. 1:50 to go in the third. Across the timeline, it's Griffin Becker. Across the timeline, off to Rakers. Southwestern Conference low, gives it up top. Now it's for Easton Becker, the left key up top. Catch and shoot, 3 for the lead. Bang, they got it. Preston Baker knocks it down. He's got 5. Cougars 35, Lancers 33. Alexander will bring it back. It took a little bit, but 90 seconds to go in the third. Bree Central with their first lead. Johnson gives it off to Dawson. JD on the left wing will give it up for Alexander. Now to Coleman. J. Cole fan it out to the right key. 75 seconds to go. Gives it to Dawson. Now to Alexander. Troy dribble with the right hand. Gives it up for J. Cole. Coleman out to Dawson. Around the horn. Lancers taking their time. Alexander inside. Out to J. Cole. Inside the mid-range. Gives it to Mitchell. He's got Johnson open for the lead to respond. Missed it. In and out. Rebounds tipped all the way out to the three-point. Alexander tracks it down. Now to Coleman for the lead. Left corner 3. Bang! Jalen Coleman responds. He wouldn't be held scoreless for much longer. His first points, 36-35. Lancers back by 1. And a huge response. 40 seconds to play. Cougars with some momentum into there. Here's a shot for the left block. Too strong. Rebound, J. Cole. He runs, and that's going to be a foul, as he'll be called on Easton Becker for a block. That's his first. J. Cole trying to bring it up, and he got slowed down by Becker. That's their second team foul, 31.8 seconds to go in the third. James Johnson will trigger this one in down the sideline. Goes into the backcourt for Troy Alexander. He will bring this one up, as we saw the end of the first half. Just go for the last shot. You cannot, there's nothing to lose. This is going to be Dawson. Center circle, give it out to Alexander, right Southwestern Conference logo. 15 seconds. Didn't even put on the deck, now he will. Gives it to Coleman, center circle with 10. J. Cole, moving to his right now, goes to his left. 7 seconds, Coleman, he's stuck, and they called the whistle as Coleman was trapped. Bree Central forces the turnover as Coleman was trapped, and they got it off with 6.2. The Cougars will get the last shot. This will be Baker. Baker waited, throws it in, gets it in with 4. Across the timeline. Easton Becker, he's trapped. Bounce pass out in the right corner. It's thrown out of bounds with 0.1 on the clock, though. But the Lancers will get a defensive stop to end the third. Dawson will just throw it in. Alexander will put up a heave. That's going to be way too short. Lancers holding on for dear life. It's a 1-point game. It's anybody's game. We head to the fourth. Bree Central run in the third. East, a huge 3 to end the third by Jalen Coleman. 36-35 out of the fourth. This is Lancer basketball here on the Belleville Broadcast Network. 36-35. Lancers hold on to a 1-point advantage. Came into tonight with the record of 6-0. The Cougars of Bree Central down by 1 at 4-2 is their record. Steven Stock, my partner, Owen Jacobs. Bree Central, a +8 third quarter. It went 17-9 and included a run that gave Bree Central their first lead with 90 seconds to go, 35-33. It was Jalen Coleman, though, that knocked down a left corner three. That gave Belleville East a 1-point advantage, and that's currently our score of 36-35. As we begin the fourth quarter, the Lancers will be on defense. Bree Central having to start the fourth. They move right to left on your TV screen. To start the fourth for the Lancers, Xavier Moody played with 3 fouls. Jalen Dawson, Ja'Cory Brown, Jalen Coleman, and Savion Mitchell. This is going to be with Jackson Campworth. He'll give it off to Griffin Becker. Center circle in a 1-point game, 20 seconds in. Cougars, this is going to be with Bryce Weeder. He's guarded by Mitchell. Kick out, going to be Becker in the corner. Fan out to the right wing. Now pass up top for Baker. Baker gives it off to Weeder. Weeder stuck. Mitchell trying to put the hands up, and they're going to call whistle on the drive. It's going to go against Dawson. JD is going to get called for his first. Her first foul comes 31 seconds into the fourth quarter. Last 2 meetings, so the last year went down to the wire. You heard Coach Creek in the pregame. Belleville East had a lead in the second game up to about 4 minutes to go, and Bree Central just airballed a wide open layup. Brown, football pass it. Give it to Dawson. JD all the way. Layup, yes. Whistle foul. Count the basket for Jalen Dawson. Gives the Lancers a 3-point lead, has a chance to extend it to 2 possessions with a free throw coming. JD with 15 on the night. Griffin Becker called for his second first-team foul. Dawson got it. It's a 4-point game. JD with 16. Lancers needed that. It's a 6-0 run by Belleville East. Bree Central bring it back in a 4-point game. Lancers both times against the Cougars had a lead at the half and would not hold. Give it off to Rakers, trying to make it hold tonight. Rakers driving, kick out left corner. Weeder will catch. Guarded by Mitchell. Savion has put the hands up, he does. Kick out up top, Becker. Pass thrown away for Baker. He tracked it down before it went over and back. And J. Cole gets a steal. Here comes Coleman all the way to the hole. Layup, yes. Jalen Coleman, are you serious? As he slides on the floor. Jalen Coleman with 5. Oh my goodness, J. Cole. That's a small guard, by the way. That's a small man doing mighty work. And a timeout, Cougars. Bree Central needs a timeout. The Lancers, a 9-0 run, have got their lead back up to 6. 41-35, 6:42 to go in the fourth. Back in a moment. This is Lancer basketball on the Belleville East Broadcast Network. (41-35). Lancers up by 6. Got to give a shout out because I just got a text from the great former Belleville East athletic director, Mr. Mark Larson. I figured out word would get to him somehow with Coach Blomberg being up here at halftime, and we shouted him out at the half. Good to hear Mr. Larson tuning in, and miss you at East, man. Had a great fun over the last few years with you, and I know Coach Nez is doing a great job. I always joke around with him, and they kind of left him big shoes to fill. Here's the three-pointer. Rakers pull-up shot, not going to fall out of the timeout. Lancers by 6, 6:35 to go, 41-35. Dawson will give it off to Coleman, and the Lancers will slow things down. A 9-0 run going back to the end of the third quarter. Moody holding, now puts it on the deck. Guarded by Mitchell, or sorry, gets a screen from Mitchell, I apologize. Moody right side the lane all the way. Wild layup, not going to fall. Savion offensive board, put back, yes, off the glass. Savion Mitchell has made an 11-0 run, his first points, and it felt like, well, he gets points at huge times. He had 5 at the end of the game on Friday against Collinsville. 43-35, 8-point game. Lancers 11-0 run. Cougars bring it back on the drive. Layup missed it, too short. Under 6 to go. Throw it for JD, and Coleman threw it too far up the court. Dawson couldn't track it down. It'll go back to Bree Central. 43-35. In the backcourt here for Jackson Campworth. He'll give it off to Bryce Weir, guarded by Savion. 8-point game, 43-35. Can the Lancer lead hold for 5+ more minutes? Bounce pass inside. Layup. Campworth missed it. Missed it with the left hand. Coleman, bounce pass for JD, across the timeline. Dawson, Euro step all the way, layup, yes, and JD's got 18 on the night. 45-35. Lancers up by 10, and Jalen Coleman is swept like a corner and intercepted it. Here comes Coleman all the way. Pass for Savion, couldn't get there. Loose, and the Cougars have it. I mean, he went up like a 6'3" cornerback. Cougars bring it back, 5:15 to play. They'll slow it down for Weeder on the right key. 45-35, throw it around the horn for Campworth, left corner shot. Baker, 3 misses. Bree Central's in a scoring drought. They have not made a shot in the fourth quarter. Dawson drive, layup, no. Couldn't get that one. Bree Central brings it back across the timeline. They'll slow it down. Baker, top of the key, gives it for Weeder. Double team Rakers, right corner 3. Bricked it again. They continue to miss. Still looking for their first points in the fourth. And Coach Creek will call a timeout. Thank you. I need a breather. 45-35, 4:37 to go. Back in a moment from Belleville East. .437 to play, 45-35 here in the fourth quarter. Coach Creek called his third timeout. The Lancers 2 remaining, Cougars with 3. Girls basketball is on the road at Granite City tonight. We'll have a score update for you at the postgame show. They'll be at home Thursday to open up their home conference slate. They defeated Collinsville on the road last Thursday. They'll take on the Tigers of Edwardsville Thursday night. It's a 7:30 tip, 7:15 pregame. The boys will take on Edwardsville Friday in their next game. That's also a 7:30 tip, 7:15 pregame. Lancers got to the baseline, out of the timeout. 4:30 to play, 45-35. This is going to be Moody up top. Free throw line, driving right side the lane. Layup missed it too strong. Cougars have a rebound. Bree Central bring it back. They have not got 80 points in this fourth quarter. They're scoreless. Drive on the way. That's an offensive foul. Offensive foul on Griffin Becker. That will be his third. Took on a drive, and he charged into the Lancer defender. 4:18 to go. Second team foul at Bree Central. 4:15 to go. Lancers with 1. Coleman, and we'll see if you can do what you did on Friday night, and that's run the clock down. Coleman, give it to Moody, because for the third time now, that no lead's too safe here against the Cougars. They've had it blown twice. Moody will give it for Dawson at the center circle. They'll give it off to Coleman on the right Southwestern Conference logo. He dribbles. 3:50 to play now. Coleman for Brown. Ja'Cory. Give it off to Coleman again. Now to Moody. Moody playing keep away almost as Moody will dribble. Kick it out. He was double teamed. Dawson tracked it down. Inside's Mitchell. Jam time. Two-handed flush. Savion Mitchell. Back-to-back games with two-handed jams. 47-35. Lancers' largest lead of the second half. Their largest lead of the game is 14. 3:25 to go. Still maybe too early yet to call a ball game. Cougars hold it on the left key. This is with Preston Baker. He'll dribble. They're going to call a foul on Dawson. A little too much contact there from the senior.
Fouls on Belleville East, number 4, Jalen Dawson.
That'll be Dawson's second team foul. Throw it in the to Preston Baker. He'll dribble up top. Going inside. He'll kick out for Rakers up top. Rakers kick out left corner. Now for Griffin Becker. He tried to throw it away, tried to throw it, almost threw it away. Inside on a drive. Easton Becker will draw the foul. That's going to be J. Cole's third.
Fouls on Belleville East, number 10, Jalen Coleman, his third, team third.
They're going to call that on the floor. So the Cougars will have to inbound it on the left baseline. They'll throw it into the left corner. Out up top here with Easton Becker. He'll go around the horn. Baker up top, pass. Becker catches, drives, lost it, got it back though. This is for Baker, 250. Free throw line, they got to get something going. They're wasting too much time on this possession, now by 12. They still have not scored in the fourth quarter, by the way. Preston Baker, give it up for Rakers. Rakers bounce pass left block, and they call it a foul. That one will go against East. It's going to go against Moody. That's his fourth. One more, he's out of the game. Coach Creek's going to keep Moody in. They'll play the risky game. And you got Dawson, who's at 2. Coleman's at 3. Three big guys. That one is thrown away. 2:35. Lancers will get it back. So they ran all that time, about 30-plus seconds, and didn't get a shot off. Turn it over. They'll take that if you're Belleville East. That's something you want to do is run a clock. 47-35, 12-point game. You feel like if Lancers could get another shot off, run about 30 seconds off, make it a 14-point game with 2 minutes left, you probably could feel comfortable calling ball game. Until that, thrown away, intercepted. Cougars bring it back. This is Griffin Becker. Drive all the way, layup, got it. That's Bree Central's first points of the fourth. Becker with 19, timeout the floor. 2:20 to play, 47-37. We'll make this our second to last timeout of the night. Back in a moment from Belleville East. This is Lancer Basketball, the Belleville East Broadcast Network. .220 to play. It'll be Lancer basketball out of the Bree Central timeout. Both teams out. 2 timeouts remaining. The next foul will put the Cougars in the bonus, while Bree Central is only at 2 team fouls themselves. This is going to be to Coleman. He will give it off to Dawson. Lancers trying to run some time, up by 10. It's going to be Moody. Cross the timeline. Got it across. Xavier will fan it out. Run time, Mr. Moody. Run time. 2:05. He's going to he just keeps pulling it out. Coleman. He is fouled. That's the third against the Cougars. They'll have 1 more to give. Kaden Rakers will be called for his second.
Fouls on Bree Central. Number 1, Kaden Rakers, his second, team third.
Lancers will have it on the sideline. Dawson will trigger it in. We'll throw it in the backcourt for Coleman. Running the time off. 1:55 to play. Bounce pass, Brown. 3-point line drives. Layup, yes! Ja'Cory Brown, who's been held scoreless this whole second half, has scored. He's got 11. 49-37. Lancers another steal. It's Moody. Bounce pass. JD missed it. And a late foul as Dawson hit the deck. 1:38 to go. 49-37. That's Bree Central's fourth. JD will have 2 free throws coming, with 2 for 3 for the line earlier.
Fouls on Bree Central.
We'll go against Preston Baker as first. Jalen Dawson makes the first. He's got 19, looking for a 20-piece. He'll miss it. 13-point game, the Lancers' second largest lead of the night. This is going to be Rakers. We'll get it across the timeline. He walks it across, gets it up top. Baker, pass, Rakers inside, driving right block, layup, good off the glass. He's got 12. 50-39, 11-point game. Lancers bring it back, across the timeline. It's going to be Dawson, 75 seconds. Gives it off to J. Cole. Coleman, double teamed. Trying to get it out now, triple team, stolen away. Griffin Becker brings it back. He drives all the way. Layup, got it. It's a 9-point game. Timeout, Bree Central with 63 seconds to go. And they say we're not out of it yet. These opposing teams, but the Lancers are making it scary. They made it scary Friday. They're making it a little scary here tonight. We're going to take our last timeout of the night. 63 seconds to go, 50-41. Back in a moment here from Belleville East. How about this, folks? From Southwestern Conference play, Belleville West has moved to 2-0 in the conference, a 62-52 win over Collinsville. 62-52 Maroons over the K-Hawks in Southwestern Conference play. So Belleville West will sit in first place in the conference. Huge win at Collinsville for the Maroons. Back to our game, 50-41, 63 seconds to go left to right. Coleman will get into Moody. He'll run it across the timeline at the center circle. He's double teamed, and they fouled. They did. They blew the whistle. That's going to put Moody at the line for 2, and that might be the guy they want to foul. Moody, 67% free throw shooter. And other options, Lancers have better options to get the ball to at the free throw line. Moody, 4th best free throw shooter. Foul was on Campworth, his 4th. One more, he's out of the game, and Moody's first will get it. He's got 10 in her double figures. 51-51, back up by 10. One more coming here for the Lancers senior in Moody. Missed it, went 1 for 2. Bree Central brings it back, 50 seconds, pass inside, out of bounds. They're going to say it tipped off the Lancers. Bree Central get on the baseline, 53.1 to go. 10-point game. I mean, it looked like the Lancers had it against Collinsville on Friday, up by double digits, and the K-Hawks just kept coming back, and Bree Central doing the same thing. That pass is thrown away. Brown has it, 50 seconds to go, gets it across the timeline. Jacory driving all the way, lost it out of bounds, and Breese, they're going to call a foul. Wow. Jacory Brown's going to have free throws. It looked like he threw it away. Easton Becker called for his second. And Jacory Brown with 11 points, 2 here in the second half, will look to put the game on ice here. Got the first. I say make one more, we can get a ball game out. Call it here if he gets one more. 52-41, 45.3. It would be very tough for the Cougars to come back down by 12. Brown, his second free throw. Got it, that should do it. Ball game as Jacory Brown with 13. Bree Central bring it back, 40 seconds. Becker drive, missed it, 2 short rebounds, tipped. It's JD, can we get an exclamation mark? Dawson, there, no, he just missed it. He just missed it, Dunk. He did that on Friday. Just missed it. We try to get the exclamation mark. 31.8, we had a foul. As the Lancers will have free throws coming, it will be Jalen Coleman somehow shooting, so we don't even know how he got the ball. Bryce Weeder called for his first. Oh, JD, come on, man. It's the second time he's got denied by the rim now. First free throw, Coleman got it. Jay Cole with 6 on the night, and he had 9 on Friday. He's on pace to get close to that number here. 7 will be the number. Lancers try to get their largest lead of the night, or tie their largest lead of the night here at 14. Coleman second, he'll get 7 on the night. Lancers by 14, 55-41. Bree Central in the backcourt, bringing across here with Easton Becker. 25 seconds. They threw it away again. And Belleville Easton's defense has been incredible tonight. They have been incredible tonight. Yeah, I mean, I don't have the box score in front of me, but I'm sure it's at least 15 turnovers. They're going to say it went off of East. They're going to give it back to Bree Central. They're going to reverse the call. But anyway, my point still stands. I'm interested in the box score for Friday. We'll talk about it. Bounce pass inside. Light up, got it for Griffin Becker, who's got 23 into the game and scored 55-43. They're going to foul again, and they'll send Coleman in line for a 2. He says, I'm going to get my 9 points, just like I got on Friday. He's averaging 7 a game. And he's a 69% free throw shooter. 11 for 16 coming in. 18.2 seconds to go. The Lancers are going to get to 7-0. It'll be a 7-0 start for Coach Creek and his boys. We'll get first free throw's good. We'll probably get a player up here as Coleman will knock down the first. We'll see what I can do down there. J. Cole with 8, 56-43. I just had Coach Creek up here on Friday. Second one for Coleman. Got it, he's got 9. He matches his total from Friday night, 57-43. 15 seconds, 14-point game. Rakers cross the tie, but he'll pull up for 3. That one will be launched and he'll miss. 8 seconds. Bree Central will back off. Jacory will just dribble out the finishing seconds. Coach Creek and the boys are 7-0 to start the 2024-2025 campaign. 57-43 the final. Bree Central falls to 4-3. We'll talk about it next. $57-43 the final. Welcome into our Lancer Hoops post-game show. Steven Stock here with you, and an absolute ball game by the Lancers. And it looked like early on in this game, as it developed into the first half, late in the first half, it looked like the Lancers had this game, and it looked like the lead was going to grow. They led by as many as 14 in that first half, and then eventually Bree Central started to chip at it. Griffin Becker, I think, had 14 straight points for the Cougars. at the end of the first half, going into the start of the second, 14 straight to give Bree Central a 2-point lead. That would come at late in the end of the third quarter. And then it was Jalen Coleman who knocks down a left corner three after James Johnson missed a right corner three. Got an offensive board, kicked it out to J. Cole the corner. He splashed one down, and that gave the Lancers the lead back, and that made it 36-35 at that point. And the Lancers would never look back, going on a 21-8 run, or 24-8 run. He put that three-pointer in there to give Belleville East a 57-43 win to get the 7-0 for Coach Creek and his crew. And my goodness, man, and it felt good. It probably, quote Coach Creek on what he said Friday night, get a little get back on Bree Central after going 0-2 against them last year. And you look at 7-0 now. The Lancers, this is their best start, as I mentioned, since 2022-23. That year had Jordan Pickett, Antoine Wilson, Alex Jackson, Mason Mosley, Darian Singleton, a whole bunch of guys, whole bunch of talent on that team where they would eventually start 12-0. It's 7-0. We're halfway to get to that 12-0 start, which is I'll have to go back and look. I know it's one of the best starts, and I think it is in Beverly's basketball history. I think it's one of the longest win streaks in Lancer basketball history since at least 1996 or whatever I can go back to. I'm trying to think because Padge and I looked it up when we went on the 10-game win streak last year, and I think 12 was the largest I found. I may be incorrect on that though. Do not quote me on that, but 12 is definitely top 2 or top 3 in the longest win streak since at least 1996. So you're at 7. I know that's 5 games away, and I know that's a lot of basketball to be played, especially the games coming up. But I just want to throw it out there, just a little history fact for you, a little stat, a little trend, of course. So 7-0, and what these last two games, let's say 3 games, or even let's go 5 of the 7 are a huge test for the Lancers to see where you're at. Highland twice. Waterloo is 4-2 coming in today. You beat them. You were able to knock off Highland twice. I mentioned you knocked off Collinsville, and now you knock off Bree Central. 2 very, very tough schedule. Open things up. Now you're going to get Edwardsville Friday, which is also going to be tough. And then after that, you're going to get Alton, which will be tough. And then I believe that Althoff got moved to February. With the way the calendar works, I think they'd be playing that game if they kept the same day, like on the day before Christmas Eve or something like that. That game has been moved to February. So then it would be Alton. And then I believe, if I remember correctly, the schedule, or Modern Day is in there. I forgot that'll be on Tuesday at Modern Day. I forgot about that. Then you have Alton Friday. And then after that, it's the Collinsville tournament. Where are you at going to the Collinsville tournament? I mean, these are huge tests that the Lancers are continuing to pass, and it's going to be tough. Edwardsville's going to be tough. Alton here, I'm looking forward. I don't trying to go 2 weeks ahead or next Friday ahead, 3 games ahead with what's going to happen Friday against Edwardsville, which will be tough. The Lancers went 1-1 against them last year. They've went 1-1 the year before. But Alton, man, that looks like that's the team in the Southwestern Conference right now. They came in ranked in Class 4A. They took a tough loss Saturday. I think they lost, but just barely to Mount Vernon on Saturday for their first loss. They're 4-1. So that looks like a good team right now. Same thing with Belleville West, who's 2-0, and I'm not sure many people expect them to go 2-0 against O'Fallon and Collinsville. They lost a lot of senior talent from last year. They're 2-0 right now in the conference. So it's going to be tough games. You know, Edwardsville Friday and Alton next Friday. Modern Day is 4-3. I just looked at them today on Tuesday at Modern Day. So, but the Lancers to be 7-0 with the games they've played against the opponents they've taken on, that's really good right now. Obviously, you can't do much better than 7-0, but the way the Lancers have won these games, they've won by good amounts. 14-9 against Bree Central, 1-9 against Collinsville. You beat Highland twice, you beat Waterloo. These are some big wins for Belleville East to kick off this campaign and get you guys ready for big-time moments like this. The Lancers needed to hold on to a lead tonight. They needed to against Bree Central. After what's happened over the last 2 games last year, you had to hold on to this lead tonight. You cannot let it fall for the 3rd time against the Cougars. And the Lancers, with the experience, they did not let that happen. Bree Central missed some big shots in the 4th quarter. Took a while for them over halfway through the 4th to get their first points. So, again, just a good win tonight for Belleville East. 7-0 now is the Lancers' record, and we'll see how it goes into Friday against Edwardsville. They're a very good team. We'll get you more on them on our pregame Friday night. Let's get the score numbers for you. We'll start off with Belleville as they were victorious tonight with 19 points. Who's going to be our player of the game guest coming up here in just a minute? Jalen Dawson. He runs up now. 13 points for Ja'Cory Brown, 10 points for Xavier Moody, 9 points for Jalen Coleman, 4 points for Savion Mitchell, 2 points for Troy Alexander. And we'll interrupt the scoring here to get the player of the game, the man himself, Jalen Dawson. Here we go, JD. Thanks for coming up here, man.
Hey, how you doing?
Doing good. I bet you're doing well after that one.
Pretty good, pretty good.
I mean, you guys got it done 57-43. What was your thoughts on this one?
I think we played good. I think we played a great first half, and then second half they came out and hit us pretty hard, but I think we fought really well with the adversity, and we came out and got the dub.
And I think, look at especially the first half, but also in the second half, too, that really guided you guys, too, with the lead late, was the way you guys were able to force turnovers. That was huge on Friday, especially started the second quarter. You forced 2 quick turnovers in the second quarter. It forced a Collinsville timeout that led you guys to get the lead. But forcing turnovers, I mean, they turned it over probably 15 times. I mean, your guys' defense was huge.
Yes, sir. I feel like, personally, I think we have the best defense in the conference. I feel like everybody works hard on defense, and we take some breaks, but, we work hard in practice on it, and we just going to keep getting better.
So you guys, I want to talk about a moment, too, in the second half is when you guys were just holding on to a lead. I think Bree Central went on a 7-0 run to get it within 2 to start the second half, and they come back, and I think it was right before Coleman hits a 3 to get you guys lead back. They hit a 3 to go up 35-33. I mean, you guys played in that game against them last year twice where you guys had a lead evaporate, halftime lead evaporate. What was it like for you guys? I know you probably guys said going to the fourth quarter, you can't do it again.
Yes, sir. Last year when we played them, we did give up a lead both times, and it was a hard loss both times. And this time I know whenever he called that timeout, we just knew we had to lock in and regroup and just take a deep breath. And we came out and we played hard defense, and we didn't let it get to us.
And talk about experience, too, because you guys have been in that spot now a few times over the season. Go back to last year. You guys are just trying to hold on to the lead. I mean, it has to help where you guys have been in that spot now a few times and know what to do.
Yes, sir. We do give up leads sometimes, but I feel like our team is we work so hard, and we know that mentally that we have each other's backs, and we just can't give up, and we just got to keep going. And since it happened last year, we knew that we can't let it happen again. We want to get that win for our teammates last year that are graduated.
You guys, you had 19 points, but I want to talk about a few of your teammates because I know you probably want to spread the love to your other guys. You had Ja'Cory with 13, Moody with 10. Just talk about Ja'Cory real quick. I know you and him are very good down low getting rebounds, but the way he gets to the basket, man, watch out.
Man, I love playing with Ja'Cory. He brings so much energy. He's a great teammate off the – nobody sees it off the court, of course, but he always builds other people up, builds a team, tells us to take shots, and he always grabs rebounds really well, and he's just a great teammate. I love playing with him.
How about Moody and Coleman, those two guys, the 2 guards? I mean, it feels like they could pop a 3 at any moment and get you guys back in the ball again. And especially Moody, that man runs wild.
He runs wild, he does, but – hey, Moody plays so hard on defense. He's also a great teammate. So is Jake. All my teammates are great. Yes. I love playing with all of them, but Moody's just a firecracker, man. He can shoot threes. He can play defense real well. He handles the ball. I love Moody.
All right, we'll finish it off. What are you looking to see out of Edwards on Friday? Because you guys have played him twice. It was a tough double-digit loss up there the first time, but second time you guys came back, barely won, got it done at the end. What are you looking to see Friday and keep you guys undefeated on the year?
They're a great team. I got a lot of friends over there, but on the court it's all serious. And I know it's going to be a good game, but I believe in my team, and I believe that we're going to come out with the win.
Jalen, thanks for always coming up. Appreciate it, buddy.
Man.
You're awesome.
Great talking to you.
We'll finish it up here back in a moment. As soon as Jalen Dawson started to explode for the numbers he had, I tracked him down before he went to the locker room. And I've done this a few times now where I run sprints down these bleachers because I try to get these guys before they go in the locker room and say, hey, can I get you up once you're done in the locker room? Because it best sustains up in the postgame, waiting. But it all worked out. I tracked him down right before the end of the door there, and it was good to track down JD. And he is just an incredible guy. I've known him since last year and got him up here. I think what game did we beat Collinsville? I think it was. We got him up here, and you heard some good words from him. He knows his stuff, man. That's Mr. Jalen Dawson, our post-game guest tonight. And we'll continue the score numbers for our gave you Belleville Easties. We'll finish off with Bree Central as they fall 57-43. They had 5 different scores. Leading with 23 was Griffin Becker with 12, was Caden Rakers, 2 scores with 5, Easton Becker and Preston Baker. Then with 1 that came late, Jackson Campworth scored by the quarter, +11. First for the Lancers, 18-7. Second quarter was a -2, 11-9. Third quarter was a 17-9, -8 for the Lancers, but that fourth quarter got it all back. 21-8. I was surprised. 21 points in the fourth. It didn't feel like that many, but it was that many for Belleville East for win number 7. Bree Central falls to 4-3 on the season. We're back at it Thursday with the girls. They're at Granite City tonight. I don't think I got anything updates-wise, so I'm assuming they're going to win, though. They were up big last time against Granite City. I think it was 2 weeks ago before Thanksgiving, and they were up pretty big. So they will be here at home against Edwardsville in a big matchup, but it's good to see them get off to such a great start. We'll talk about them a lot Thursday on the pregame to break down their start to the year because it's huge to see them starting the way they have, and they needed that because the last 2 years they have not been able to start well, which has kind of hurt them going into January and mid-December, stuff like that. So they needed that start, and we'll see them Thursday night against a big one against Edwardsville, a team they haven't been able to beat much over the last 2 years. So that's a 7:15 pregame, 7:30 tip. The boys are in action Friday at home against Edwardsville in Southwestern Conference play. You heard JD talk about it. It's going to be a big one, and I'm expecting this place to get as rowdy as it did last Friday against Collinsville. Big one Friday for the boys, big one Thursday for the girls. It's good to be back here at Belleville East for the week and keep it rolling. These Friday night games, Tuesday nights too, are working out well with my schedule at Swick. And they got a big doubleheader tomorrow, girls and boys at Wabash. Should be a good one. I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to be back covering them. It's been the boys. It's been over a week since I've been with them, and the girls or women. I was just with them on Saturday. So looking for that Wednesday. So we'll wrap this one up here from Belleville East. As Coach Nesbitt's telling me to sign off, I will sign off, Coach. I know we're running late. Have a good rest of your Tuesday night. Have a good week. We'll see you Thursday or hopefully see you Friday. Until then, have a good rest of your Tuesday. Have a good week. Until next time I see you, I'll see you guys later.